welcome to the 69th episode of Impact Media Presents writer Sarah Jones. I am Kelly Redmond, your host and executive director of Impact Media and Entertainment Coalition, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Today, you will have the pleasure of going behind the curtain of some of our favorite shows, NAACP award-winning shows and films, and get acquainted with one of our chief storytellers. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce to you my soror, Sarah Jones. How you doing?
Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my goodness. It has been way too long since we've connected in person. Oh my goodness. It's been a busy couple of years for you. I mean, meeting you at Delta. Exactly. I'm so grateful. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Derby Day that the Alphas throw here in Los Angeles, and life has changed pretty drastically for you since then. So I want to dig deep, learn more about your story. I think it's so powerful, so inspirational, and I believe others need to hear it. And and the power of our sisterhood and how you get to work with some of your favorite people and sorors. And so let's matter of fact, start off by giving a shout out to our sorors and our D9 family that are tuning in from all over the country.
Shout out to all of those fantastic sorority and fraternity, especially, I have to say especially, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the chapter for which I was made, the Alpha Xi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the chapter I belong to now, Century City chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And of course, everyone out there that's, just serving the community under that D9 umbrella. Keep doing what you do, and just grateful to be part of it.
Absolutely. It's just, isn't it amazing? I mean, we knew that we were joining something special, when we were in undergrad, and then now to still have family connections within our sorority and then within the whole D9 family, worldwide. It's just absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Right.
So
it is. It's a connection that. To hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
There you are. Okay. I am so sorry if I'm kind of choppy. I'm on a delay, but I'm still going to do my best here.
Oh, yes. It'll work out.
Yes, okay. But to your point, yes, it is absolutely something, in the beginning when you joined in undergrad, when I became part of Delta Sigma Theta Alpha Xi chapter, you knew that you were joining a sorority and it was going to be a lifetime commitment, and you knew that it was something on a on a chapter level. It was a little different than what it is after you graduate and you serve on this bigger scale. And I'm just happy that I did it. I'm grateful for the process, and I'm grateful that I'm in now and just doing everything that I could possibly do for my community, for my Saras, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
Absolutely. And let's give a shout out to your campus, because I know you attended an HBCU, correct?
Absolutely. HBCU made and proud, South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Go Bulldogs. Yes. I live, bleed, and everything for South Carolina State University.
So I wanted you to do that. And I'm going to give a shout out to I actually was made at Phi chapter at Drake University. We're celebrating our centennial next year.
Okay.
But I did attend
congratulations.
for grad school, went to Clark, Atlanta. So got to give shout out to my HBCU in chapter 2. So it's so great to
right.
And pay tribute, and really appreciate the support of our D9 family for this live stream over the past couple years. So let's dig in, Sarah.
Yes.
Let's start with your why.
All
and
right.
How did you know? Why did you, pursue a career, in writing, and to write and tell our stories in Hollywood?
Right. It's funny because back when we were coming up, right, We didn't have the whole social media. I
Right.
knew then, and I mentioned that because there wasn't a vehicle for which you can go in and say, okay, this is what I'm interested in, and
Right.
have something spit out what that means for you, right?
Yes.
What
Yes.
I knew as a kid is that I loved television. I
Mhm.
knew I was great at writing. Um, I knew, though I wasn't, the smartest kid in my class and at my school, and that was probably because of lack of interest. And there wasn't, I wasn't at the bottom of the barrel, but there were things that I knew that I liked and excelled in more. And being, part of the journalism club, and being part, loving the whole creative writing, anything that had to do with the arts, I loved. What I knew, though, is that I didn't want to be in front of the camera. That's all I knew. I knew I
Okay.
didn't want to be an actress. I knew I loved entertainment. I didn't know exactly what all of that meant. Then I went to South Carolina State, and we had a broadcasting division there, and I studied professional English. So
Mm.
professional English, my school had a professional English major as well as a professional education. So professional English is English outside of teaching, whatever
Mm.
that means for you, which I always believed, and I was told that whatever job you go into, they're going to train you to do whatever that is, but no one's going to train you how to speak and write and communicate effectively. So
Yes.
English was always a great start, right? You want to be a banker, or you want to come out and be this, that, and the third. Someone's going to train you on that, but no one's
That's
going to say, yo, you're not speaking, right? Or this is not the way to
right.
communicate. Okay. So after I graduated and I had this broadcasting, right before I graduated, I heard about this program in LA that was called the Production Assistant Program. And I'm in South Carolina at the time. And by the way, I'm from East Cleveland, Ohio. So I went from East Cleveland to South Carolina. Anyway, and I said, you know what? I'm not going back home. I'm going to move out to LA. I don't know anyone. I'm just going to make this happen. Get out to LA, made it into this Warner Brothers production assistant program, walk onto the lot, got assigned my first show. And I remember the doors opening up. And there's a show that illustrates this perfectly for me. I think
Mm.
the show is called 20s. It is. It's when the movie
Yes.
is called 20.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
when the writers come out, and it's like the heavens just shines
Yes.
down on them. That
Yes.
is exactly what I knew immediately what everything meant. It all made sense. I was going to be a comedy writer.
Wow.
And that was 20 plus years ago. And as soon as I did it, I got on my computer. At the time, it was a big old desktop computer, and I'm just, typing away.
Yeah.
And I wrote my first script, and I got an agent, which is unheard of. Excuse me, I got a manager first, quickly, off of
Wow.
this
That is
script that
unheard
I
of.
wrote. But then I got dropped just as quick
Oh,
because the manager at the time said they didn't want to rep baby writers. And
mm.
just so that everyone's familiar, baby writers in terms of entertainment as far as entertainment is concerned, it means a person who is new into the business, right?
Mm.
So did that, worked all the shows in production, would write as many scripts, and they were horrible back then, but I just kept writing and writing and writing. And then I got pregnant with my son, went on the corporate side of entertainment for a few years,
Hmm.
raised my kid, wrote children's books, which wasn't something that I was interested in, but I just wanted to continue to write.
Right.
I want to do whatever I can do just to push my career forward in that way. My books ended up getting picked up by Los Angeles Unified School District, ended up leaving the business, went into pharmaceutical sales,
Oh,
got laid
wow.
off there, went back into entertainment, wrote a script, and was actually one of my sorority sisters, Corinne Huggins, at the time is now Corinne Williams, and Monique Nash. Read my pilot, my sample at the time, after everyone kept turning me down. No, we're not looking for writers. No, we already have enough Black writers on our team, which I would hear. we got enough. Our roster's full. We only got one of you, and we got your one, our one. So, but Corinne and Monique were like, we like you. We're going to get behind you. And the moment that they picked me up, they put me in, matched me with an agent, sent my sample out, ended up getting these calls from agents that wanted to meet me, and got an agent. Within 2 months, got a call from Meg Deloach, another Sarah of mine at Sigma Theta, who called me and said, I want you to be part of my writer team. And that was at Family Reunion. We're in our 3rd season now there, and 3 times NAACP winners. So we're really excited about that. Then went over to The Neighborhood. Just interject whenever you want to, Kelly. I can keep on going.
No, keep going. I wanted to go journey. So you're going into the next phase.
Yes, so that's the journey. I'm giving you the journey. Yes, so went over to Neighborhood where, say that one more time.
You were talking about the neighbor. You were talking about going over to The Neighborhood. That was where you left off.
Yes, so I'm currently at The Neighborhood, writer and executive story editor there. So I'll be going into the 5th season of The Neighborhood, which is 2 seasons for me over there. I just completed 2 Lifetime movies, working actually on a 3rd one. I did, I'm a co-writer for the hit Lifetime original movie, Single Black Female, with Tessa Scott. So we're really excited about that. People showed up, watched it, and we hit over 5.1 million viewers, and it was just amazing for Lifetime. Yes. And right now, thank you so much. Then now working on my 2nd project, just finished it with Megan Good directing. So we're excited about that too. And currently working on a 3rd project for Lifetime. So God has been good.
Yes. Perfect lead in to how has your faith sustained you through all of this? Because that's quite a journey. You went through it really quickly, but that's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot. We know this industry is hard. It takes a lot. So talk a little bit about how your faith sustained you through all of this. Because you've been here you said how many? Over 20, how many years?
20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
20 years. And wow, that is such a loaded question, and to try to keep it simple, because I am a very much so faith-based person, right? I truly believe in God's timing, and I do believe in faith and walking by faith. I am one of those who have done for years write letters to God with everything, while people do vision boards, which are great. I like to write a letter every year, and I just put out what I will hope that God is in line with for my life, and this is what I would like to happen. And if it's in your will, please make it happen, sort of thing. And I will do that every year. So if the question is, how does my faith line up with, my trials and tribulations and my journey? I truly believe, and I know this sounds a little bit, oh, come on, Sarai, but I do, and I did. It's one of those things where I always felt God's timing. If it's a no, as hurtful as a no is, it's just not for me, right? And as things started unfolding, the more the no's happened and the more of the delays happened, it all started to make sense. So every time I got that first confirmation why this was a no and why times were delayed, it made all the other no's that I got so much easier, right? Because I understood I don't want yes, that's not from God, right?
Yes.
I'm okay with rejection. I'm okay with no. I understand I am not for everybody. I'm not everybody's type. I'm not everybody's girl. And if I'm not for you and your project, I am totally okay with that.
Yes.
Right. So I got to a space in understanding that not everything is for me, and that man's rejection is God's protection.
Absolutely.
And I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
So, like I said, when you look back, when we all look back at a lot of the no's, and if you really walk by faith and you believe in your divine assignment, you understand what those no's meant, right? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's professional, whatever it is one of those things like, man, if had I did this, I would not have gotten this.
Mhm.
And and I thank God for that, because it has made life for me so much easier as far as where I am in life.
Mhm.
It's right where I'm supposed to be. And I pray all the time that God gives me the desire for which He will have me to desire. So whatever it is I want to do is sent from God. That's what I feel. Because I know God ain't gonna tell me to go out and take out 17 million people, and that's of God, right? That's not a desire that I have, and I know God would never put that in me.
Right.
So as long as it honors Him and it's in good faith and it's doing good and it's not harming or hurting, I do it. I move in
Yes.
that way. And if I can sleep at night and still wake up and feel good about my decision, then I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's so impressive to hear your story, your journey, and the fact that you did this as a single mom. Can you speak to that for a minute? And you've done an incredible job raising an incredible young man. It also.
Yes. I have a kid that's at an HBCU, and that was so important to me. His father and I, we when it was time to go to college, actually way before college, and it's a thing to tell your kid, because again, I'm from East Cleveland, and I went to school out in South Carolina, and I knew how important an HBCU experience is,
Mhm.
and I know that having it is something that you have. It's like being in a fraternity or a sorority, right?
Mhm.
It's not something that stops once you graduate. I am at homecoming every year. I am at events every year. My school is part of me. My Bulldog South Carolina State University family is my family. We are so very close, right? We ride together hard. And
Yes.
I wanted my son to experience that, especially being born in LA. And back when my kid was probably before middle school, I would always say, you can go to any college. At first, it was, you can go to any college you want as long as it's not in the state of California. And you
Uh-oh.
say that, right? Right. You say that back in the fifth grade because it's a bold statement, because it's years away. But
Yes.
then in middle school, it's like you can go to any school you want as long as it's not California. Then in high school, it becomes a question. You can go to any school you want, but not California. It's like you can stay in California if you want,
Right.
but then it actually became, you can go to any school you want as long as it's on this HBCU list. Pick one.
Mhm.
I don't care which one, but it must be on this list.
Mhm.
So when my son was in ninth grade, he started doing his research and fell in love with A&T.
Mhm.
So, which is the number one public HBCU.
It's North Carolina
Um,
A&T, right?
I'm sorry.
I was saying, just to clarify,
Yes,
which
North
is.
Carolina A&T. Yes, you're right. You're right. So this is North Carolina A&T Aggies,
Mm.
um, and in the great city of Greensboro, North
I haven't
Carolina. So
been
that,
there. Think about that. I need to make sure they know each other. That is something.
yes,
Okay.
so that has become like my second home. I spend a lot of time there as well, and it doesn't help that my school and A&T are sort of like rivals. So that's our big game for us. When
Mhm.
my school is playing A&T, it's like, oh, okay, but
Yes.
it still hasn't changed. It's still SC number one or A&T, even my kids there. So
And he's going into his
it's a
senior
great thing.
year,
I love
right?
it. I love everybody of it.
Isn't he going into
Yes, he's
his
a junior
senior
now, so he'll be
year?
going into his senior year.
Yes.
He'll be
Wow.
going into his senior year this fall. It went so fast.
Didn't it?
so fast. And then I
He
had a
and Jay
kid that
are
went
the
to
same
college
age.
at 17. Dare
Yes.
to say, yeah, because
Yes.
is she 20 now?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. 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 Yep.
I
So,
remember
but
seeing the
yeah, it's a
graduation.
great thing to send them off.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a delay.
That
I
Kelly
was
you
just
cut
saying,
out.
I remember seeing the
There
graduation and
is.
prom
Okay.
pictures the same time when they were graduating together. Yes, the time flies,
Yes.
absolutely flies.
So
Well, before we begin to wrap up a little bit, I would
it
love for you
does.
to talk a little bit about go a little bit more in depth about some of your favorite projects that you've worked on and why they're your favorites. I'd love for our audience to hear a little bit more about
Yeah. You know what? I only have one child, but I kind of imagine your projects being like having multiple children. You love them all for different reasons, and you can't really say which project is your,
Yes.
which child is the prettiest child. You don't want to
No,
call
that's
any of your children ugly. You don't want to say which child is the favorite.
yes.
And it's sort of like that with my projects, right? I say though, my first child and my first baby is special because, family reunion.
Yes. Okay, it appears that we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty. We're going to stay tuned and see if Sarah can reconnect. It has been quite a journey this morning to get her into this live stream. She has been such a trooper. She was having quite a bit of challenges even logging in. So we really appreciate you hanging in here. And if for some reason we don't get to complete it today, we will definitely have her back on again soon. And I'd love to invite my other sorors, Meg Deloach and some of the others that she works with, to come on and talk about some of these projects that she was just beginning to talk about: the family reunion, the neighborhood, and then also single Black female and others. So I tell you what, let's just close it out now. And I will make sure that we bring Sarah back and we'll do a continuation from where we left off so that we can make sure that we have the technology working properly. You can hear her, understand everything she's saying, because she has such a powerful story to tell. So thank you so much for tuning in to Impact Media Presents. I really appreciate your support over the years. This has been our 69th episode so far, and I'm just so grateful for your continued support. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye. And God bless.